engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Faith on Film. I'm so excited you've joined us today. We've got a great interview for you today. Now, Holly's going to join me on the interview. She's not with me right now. She's very busy doing some work for Capernaum Studios, of course. But I'm excited, of course, to have our recurring guest. She is the Vice President of Encourage TV, and they are, of course, our sponsors. And so it's always a great joy to have with us Melissa Anschutz. Melissa, welcome back.
Thank you. This is the highlight of my month.
Oh.
I just want you to know that. I love being on the show. Thank you so much for having me on every month.
Well, I tell you, I probably should not call you a guest anymore, even a recurring guest. I maybe should just say our monthly co-host.
I love it.
Well, we love having you on. Now, I understand you just recently, you just came back from a company trip. Where did you guys go?
We did. We went to Nisswa, Minnesota. That is where, we all met this time. Mm-hmm. And we were expecting it to be freezing cold. And so we all brought flannels and it was beautiful. It was crisp, but it was beautiful. And it's just, we all work in from different states, right? So we don't get to see each other in live, real person moments. So we do these team trips once a year so that we can talk to each other and shake each other's hands and, just really have conversations that are, true face to face, so it's really great. And some of the team members, Brooklyn Banks, who was our social media manager, she has been with the company for a year, but she was not on the trip last year. So this is the first time we actually met her face to face. So that was wonderful. And yeah, it's just great to come together as a company and meet all your team members that you work with every day, but you don't see every day necessarily.
Sure. Now, I imagine you do some fun stuff too. It's not just all work, right?
Oh, yeah. Our CEO is incredibly kind and generous just really spoiled us. So it was really lovely. We had such a nice time.
I remember when I was employed by a media company, we used to have these yearly get-together somewhere. And I think my favorite one was when we went to Aspen. And it was just so much fun. And just like you, our CEO was very generous, put us up in an amazing hotel. And we did a lot of fun stuff besides our work. And one of the things I remember is going horseback riding in the mountains of Aspen. Can you imagine? Me horseback riding?
Ooh, yeah, I love that, though. The only time I've been riding horses lately is in movies.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Now my trips consist of the wife and I going to our grandson's baseball games. That's our outings.
And those are
our company outings, yes,
right?
Yes, they are.
Are you the loud grandpa in the stands yelling?
No, actually, I'm pretty quiet. To be honest with you, I just watch. That's all I do is watch. Now, we're here, of course, because you've got a movie that you want to talk about today. That we're going to have the star of the movie and the director of the movie as our guest here after we see the trailer. But who are we talking about?
So we're talking about Grace by Night. It is a fantastic film. You're about to interview Nathan, who's the director, and Antonio, who's the star of the show. The film is about wrestling. I mean, that's kind of the thread of it, but it's really about life and how we navigate life and how we overcome adversity. And it's just, you're going to be on the edge of your seat when you watch this film. You're going to be cheering when you watch this film. You're going to be crying when you watch this film. It's going to bring so many emotions. It's so well done. The execution was just fantastic. The production value is just fantastic.
Yes.
I have a family of wrestlers, so I was really excited about that portion of it too. And they just did such a beautiful job with it. Very inspirational.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to take a look at the trailer and then come on back with Antonio Sabato Jr. and Nathan Leon, a star and the director. Melissa, thank you for joining us again today.
call. This will be all over the news by the end of the day.
What are you planning on doing?
You'll know soon.
I don't know what else to do. I can't keep living like this.
I need help.
I'm done.
You told me something that night that changed everything.
Medical cardiac arrest.
Do you remember what it was?
7-0 receiving the 34 with a weapon.
You didn't think that you were going to make it.
I need some help, please. It's my dad. He's been in jail a dozen times, so it doesn't do any good. So are you gonna help or not?
All right, where you at?
There you were, opening up your heart. You talked me out of making a bad decision.
1-3, the police are requesting an ambulance to detail me as screaming for one.
1549 East 18th Street.
Caller, third party. See the call from an elderly woman that's given up location. She's having a heart attack.
I need help. Can you help me?
You stay where you are. I'm on my way. Fire is responding. 152 to the scene. 152 the time. 220885.
Gentlemen, welcome to Faith on Film.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for having us.
You bet. So we just finished seeing the trailer of the movie, and I've seen the movie, by the way, but just by seeing that, I noticed that this was a movie that is dealing with mental health. Let me ask this question of Nathan. Nathan, why a movie on mental health right now?
Yeah, I think that going all the way back to the pandemic and all that whole scene, we started to see that people were really hurting and they were being more boisterous about it. Even before that, I realized it was a topic that wasn't addressed in faith films very often. And our goal with our company has always been to kind of be the outlier and go take on the hard topics, the topics that aren't really addressed in faith films. We wanted to offer help to people who are hurting. Our goal is to really kind of evangelize with our films. We're really not about preaching to the choir, and we need those too. Don't get me wrong; those are important films. It's important to have those for the people who already go to church. But for me and my company, I want to evangelize and reach those who aren't going to church on Sunday. And so we felt that this was a story that would resonate with people who are hurting and need help. Have mental health issues and take on those topics and meet people where they're at, not where we hope they are, but as faith filmmakers, go and meet them where they are at. I think that's so important. And then eventually, hopefully they'll make it to where we want them to be.
And Antonio, I know you have said that that's kind of your passion in your heart too, where you're for movies you want to make, is to not the typical faith films, but to be reaching beyond, and kind of on a different level than we've seen before, right?
Yeah, me and Nathan, and hi Nathan, I haven't said hi to you yet, I'm sorry.
Good to see you. Good to see you, bud.
He's my bud, and we started this a long time ago, and we're both very much believers, and we love Christ, and we also know that Christ deserves to have the best projects out there. We need to reach out across the board and reach out to people that are non-believers. We need to make movies that are really A+, made well entertainment movies, and so be it that the core of the film is God and Jesus and all those messages. But if you can entertain the other side or entertain people that are not, there with God or want to be preached like Nathan was talking about, but give them entertainment like it used to be with a great message. And that's what kind of films I want to make. That's the kind of films I'm making. And I want to team up with people like that. And that's why me and Nathan teamed up and created something. He created a project. He wrote an amazing story that I wanted to do it no matter what. And so we gave everything we had on this particular project to really step out and make God available and for everyone, and to showcase that we can create great projects that can take us to the Academy Awards, that can take us to the red carpet and go to where the devil actually is, so we can reach out and go, we have projects that are great. We're not here to preach. You can do whatever you want. But is this something that you like to see? And, Grace by Night is something that moved us and moved me when I read it, and moved people when they were doing it. People were working on this project for free. They were giving their time and life to this project for free. And I spoke after we made it, because everyone went to see it. Whoever went to see it talked really highly about it. People are waiting in lines, or at least all the emails and messages I'm getting. This movie is so important. I can't wait. I'm so excited for the world to see this movie, because they've never seen me in a project like this ever. I want to only make projects that are this good or better. That's why 426, the project that I'm just finishing right now, is just as good or better. And because Grace by Night is opening a door for everyone. There's so many Christians out there, filmmakers like Nathan and myself, that are so good at what they do. And I'm talking about everyone from makeup artists, hairstylists, carpenters, electricians, drivers who believe in the Lord, who really want to be in projects, who are great, who go to Hollywood, who are produced by studios, who go to the movie theaters and see these films. And so we're making those films, and they all want to work with us. And it makes me feel so good that they're well protected. We're well protected because these people, like I said, on this movie, and I'm just going to close this short, they work with us in Birmingham, Alabama, 24 hours a day. And Nathan was like, me and him were not sleeping at all. But, who needs sleep, because we love what we do, and we're breaking doors. We're doing something that God wanted us to do for a very long time. And now we're doing, and we're part of something really spectacular. So I want to give this opportunity to say thank you, Nathan, for having me part of this, because I love being a producer in this. I love starring in this film and being part of the team, and to see the reactions of people and what the movie actually is right now, what Nathan did to put this together, musically, visually, and everything. You're the man, bro. I love you forever.
Thanks, man. Well, you know what? Your movie's only as good as the actor doing the script, so it goes both ways. And I think I'm really proud of what we put together. So,
Nathan, you were talking about the film. Give us a brief synopsis for the people out there who saw the trailer but maybe still don't understand what it's completely about, but also why you were so passionate about making this story, because it's not an easy subject or an easy
No, it's not. So it's a story about a man who's going through a personal he has a personal tragedy in his own life and his family, and he's really struggling with that. And so in order to try to get over his own grief, he takes a job as a crisis hotline responder and starts going out on calls, hoping that by going on these calls, what he learns from them will help him deal with his own grief. So he's really starting off by doing it for selfish reasons. It's not really to help, it's to help people, but it's also about helping himself. And through the course of the story, one of those calls that he goes on ends up being a teenager who has an absentee father and loves the sport of wrestling, but he's got a really troubled home life. And our main character that Antonio plays, John, comes from a wrestling background, and they bond together over the sport of wrestling. And John ends up helping this kid try to make it to a state championship. So it's a story about a redemption. It's kind of a Rocky story about a man who doesn't have his son and a son who doesn't have his father, and how they kind of come together and be that for each other, and find redemption together, and find it where the only place you can truly find it. I'll leave it at that. And within the movie, there's a lot of different issues that are brought up on the different calls that he goes out on. So he's dealing with his own pain, and he eventually is finding his way into the purpose of his life, and that helping others is the key to happiness. So it's really a movie about going out into the streets. I think you hear that in the Bible, we hear that at church, you should go out into the streets and help people, but how many are actually doing it? And so hopefully this movie inspires people to get out of the church walls and to bring what they learn at church to others who may not be at church. And so, like I said, that's really the reason that I made it. I thought it was important that it was an important theme that we don't just preach to each other, but we take what we learn to those who need it the most. And on Crisis Calls, you can expect that there's a lot of people who need to hear the truth. So.
Absolutely.
Now, most movies that include sports as part of their movie are usually baseball or football or basketball, soccer. Why did you choose wrestling?
Number one, for exactly that reason, because we've seen all those movies and we've seen a lot of them. And so I wanted to find a sport that I felt we don't see very often. There's probably maybe one or two movies, and they were made in the 80s. So that's the first reason I selected it. The second is that I was a wrestler. And it's a very mentally tough sport, like it's individual. It's about, you have to have the strength to get through it. Like boxing, And also mental health and wrestling just seems to go together really well for me. I think that wrestling is such a mental sport, and this kid needs to learn mental toughness. And so the lessons he's learning in life from John, the character in the movie, are helping him on the mat. And he takes those lessons, and it's his driving force and what he puts out there in the sport of wrestling. So those are the main reasons.
Antonio, what was the hardest scene for you to do? And then what was the scene after you've seen it that you're like, I love that scene. It was so good. Whether it was hard or not, that you
every scene.
Every scene. It's a powerful movie. I'm telling you, I can't wait for the world to see it. It will move people. I'm telling you, it will move people. It's already done a lot of work so far, but it's amazing now the world is going to see it. But I have every part of that film is my favorite. I was living in that moment. Throughout that moment, as an actor, as a performer, also as a human being, living in this moment was very moving. And Nathan and I are that's why we danced together in this film as a director-actor, because we lived this moment, honestly, truthfully, as one, with our own personal issues and struggles in life and things like that. So, but to live in this moment 24 hours for a period of time was very difficult in a sense, in a mental state of mind. But what a ride! What a joy of a ride to be able to be riding in this roller coaster that we went through, because it's amazing what you see on camera. It's everything. I don't have that movie. Really was one of the best experiences. And also, I've done over 100 projects and movies all over the world. But I got to tell you, Grace by Night is the best experience I've ever had as an actor, the best film I ever made from A to Z. Everything about the film is a moving entertainment roller coaster of emotions. And God is making that happen in a beautiful, harmonistic, I guess, musically. It's just really beautiful to watch as well. So it's a perfect movie for me. I have nothing bad to say at all, ever. And usually I'm very much the opposite. But in this one, every scene, every moment, even the ones that I'm not in, are the movie from the beginning, middle, and end takes you through. And that's why the movie, when he wrote it, when Nathan wrote it originally, it just took off because it was all on the page. It's like, it's right there. And to really give you all, and everyone, the entire cast, I mean, Will and everybody that gave their everything to this film on every ounce of every second. It was beautiful. It was like going to acting camp for a beautiful summer with the most amazing actors and the most amazing team. It was like a beautiful journey.
I have a favorite scene. Can I?
Yeah,
Sure.
I was going to say,
Sure. I have a favorite scene that he did.
As a director, I'm sure you have one.
Yeah, because it's like you said, there's a lot of scenes that are very powerful, but particularly, and I'm not going to spoil the story, but a scene with him and Will, who plays the young teenager, where John is revealing his past backstory to him, opening up for the first time, and he hadn't before. And I mean, it's powerful. You'll see in the movie, but I mean, I was getting emotional, and I wrote it, but I forgot that I wrote it. And so when that's happening, and it doesn't even feel like you made it, and you forget all that because the performances are so good, that's what you want. And I mean, yeah, it's just, he knocked it out of the park as far as the bringing all the backstory and the depth and the pain and all the things he had gone through was right there, and you see it in his face. And like I said, it's amazing. You're gonna love it. And then the other favorite scene I have is they're on the mat, and John's having to give him a bit of a pep talk, and I'm not going to go into it all, but the power of these two guys in this moment, right before this big finale, and the way it's said and delivered is as authentic as you can get that I've seen in any sport film. And we were under heavy pressure to shoot it too. We had to do an entire final Karate Kid type ending in literally 8 hours. And I know on Karate Kid they had 4 days. So not only we were under heavy pressure, and it was still executed. So I'm super proud of Antonio and knocking it out and not making me sad that we didn't get what was on the page. So those are my favorite scenes.
Well, the thing is also that people don't understand is to make a film, to make a good film is excruciating difficult. It's just one of the hardest things to do. Just in general, it's just especially on a low budget, on a film that basically everybody's giving their time and effort and really everything they have, or, I have this open, you can move in here, or, there's an extra room. Can you drive from here? Or everything is given, and they have their own issues, and we have our own issues, and we have our own responsibilities elsewhere. So it was just so compelling to see a leader like Nathan as a director, and his team, his wife, who's just really the cornerstone of this production, who's solid there. We're dealing with the paperwork and this and all this stuff, while we're dealing with a film that is dealing with so much drama internally. So it was really a roller coaster of emotions on a daily basis to confront these things that come up on a daily basis on the movie set. Don't I have money for this? Where is food coming for the caterer? Is this all this other stuff is piling up to everything else that you need to get also the shot. Because you need to get everything. At the end of the day, you need to produce something. You need to give back to the people who finance this film. You need to give back to the community that is expecting this film to be great, because they're giving their entire time and effort for free. Basically, we had on a high school over 3,000, how many kids that they had? One of the most beautiful high schools in our country, Thompson High School, right there in Birmingham, who gave us everything for free. Their entire facility while they were going to school. That's how much they believed. So we wanted to give back and go, we're going to give you the best product.
You mentioned the word low budget, but I want to make sure that people don't misunderstand that, because I saw the movie, and if there's one thing I noticed is that it had very high production quality.
Yes.
High production values. Now, do you think that is an important thing in Christian films, is to have high production values? Because most of them don't.
Absolutely. And the reason, and going back to what I was saying, and you add to something really great here, Nathan and our team of young, enthusiastic, energetic talent that we have, who's ready, and I mentioned it earlier, who's ready to devote their life to, who are devoted to Christ, but also to bring that aspect into filmmaking, are sick and tired of making projects for Christ who are badly written, who are badly produced. See, you don't need money to make something great, because we have talent. We have talent who knows how to shoot, how to light. We have actors who perform, who give everything to this project to the last minute. Wardrobe, everything was done to the last. We had no time. Everything had to be structured perfectly. No sleep at all. Me as the lead actor, not sleeping for weeks at a time. The director, who doesn't even know where he lives anymore because he's not sleeping. That's the kind of, so yes, we want to go to the next level producing wise, but we're actually, I don't want to ask anymore. I want to kind of demand the Christian community to come together and start being filmmakers in a sense of like, this is a business, but also you have to trust us, that we know what we're doing, that we have to go to the next level by making projects like this. If we don't make projects like this, we're going to stay in our little bubble over here, the Christian community faith-based movies who don't go anywhere. And then you have Mel Gibson, who does an extraordinary thing where people almost die on his movie sets, right? Who go to Hollywood. And then that's it. And then you have all these other production companies who make the same Christian faith-based film. Our film is more than Christian faith. Jesus doesn't want us to just get the Christians. He knows he already has them. He wants us to get the world.
Yeah.
We need to reach out and be able to take these projects to Hollywood, to Prime, to Netflix, to Disney. We want to go where they don't expect us to be, because that's who we are. We want everyone to join this party. Yeah. We don't want to be secluded to be the Christian. No. We're going to make stories that are real, because Christians are not perfect.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think production quality matters. I think knowing your craft matters. I think especially for the teen and younger audiences, they expect a certain level of quality in terms of production value. So we need to bring, like, if they're watching Netflix every day and they're watching Disney every day, there's a lot of money going into those. They expect to see that kind of level. So we need to be able to execute on that if we want to keep their attention, or they're just going to turn the channel. So we need that kind of quality with better stories that actually point people in the right direction instead of the wrong. Because for too long, the people with the money are pointing the youth, the future, to the wrong place. So, but we have to be able to compete with them. We have to be doing quality filmmaking that matches theirs in order to keep them. So
that's so true. And then we're starting to see that, actually. I'm starting to see it with a few films and productions that we've seen lately, and starting to go like, okay, this looks better. It's more intriguing. It's better written. I think Kerry Solomon, who did Nefarious, he and Chuck did Nefarious. I mean,
Yeah, I know them
amazing,
well.
brilliant, different kind, well done. I mean, these are the kind of things that I love seeing, the edgy, where people are like, wow, okay, that's really different. I'm not seeing anything like that. We love the Kendrick brothers. We love the people who are doing certain films, and that's their audience, and they have that. But like you said, listen, it's a big world and a big film world, and there's enough for everyone. Who, if you want to make a certain kind of film for that audience, fine. But I'm glad that you're reaching out. I had someone. We just did a content conference at Capernaum Studios, which is where I'm also marketing director of Capernaum. So we were there last week, and it's for filmmakers that come together. And a question I heard 2 or 3 times raised is, why aren't there Christian horror or sci-fi films? Why aren't there thrillers? Why aren't there things in that genre?
I'm working on one right now.
No, we're doing that right now. I
love
once
hearing
that finished is that first Christian horror movie, and that is going to be amazing. 426. Then Nathan's got projects going on. Then we're going to bring back Trailblazers, which is an action adventure movie. So we have projects out there that are ready, greenlit, ready to go. We just need more people to really get involved. The financing part, because we need to, these movies, especially if you want to go to the next level, they cost money. They need to be produced right. We have the entire team. And also, like I said, I work in Detroit, I work in Texas, I work here. Nathan is right there as well. So we work in places where we get a lot of stuff in return. The community gets really involved. And also the scenery, the things that we can get, the equipment that we can get in Birmingham, Alabama, it's amazing, extraordinary. So we need more people to get involved with us, because we're going to make, for the next 5 years to 10 years, we're going to make some beautiful films. And Grace by Night is the beginning. And is the one that actually opened all the doors for us to go to the next level. And we're so excited about it, because these projects are the projects that me and Nathan have been wanted to see for a long time. So this is a special time.
Great. So we got about a minute left here, and we just need to know, where can people watch the movie right now?
Yeah, so on October 15th, it's going to be hitting first Up TV, which is going to be at the same time Amazon, Hulu, Fandango, I believe iTunes as well. So it'll be on all your major streaming platforms. You shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Just type in Grace by Night movie, where can I watch is probably the easiest way to do it. And you'll have a list of the different places that you can see.
Go get it.
Fantastic. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see some of those other projects you guys are talking about.
They're coming.
All right.
Thank you.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.